I was up at 10th Mountain, 2nd Battalion, 22nd Infantry, my entire 8 years. My first deployment was in 2001, 2002. I went to Bosnia. And then in 03, 04, I was in Afghanistan. Then 05, 06, I was in Baghdad, Iraq. And then 07, 08, I was up in northern Iraq, up in Kirkuk, Iraq. Back around Veterans Day this past year, back in 2016, I was actually just cruising Facebook one morning before I got out of bed and started my day. I saw the event for Tough Ruck, and I was like, this would be a really good thing to do. It's a 26.2 mile ruck march. It was a 35-pound rucksack. When I started the race, I had about 46 pounds when I weighed in, and when I got done, I had about 41 pounds. There was a lot of times where I wanted to fall out. My feet were literally Hamburg, and I just kept thinking about the guys I was walking for. Specifically, I was really close with a guy named Sergeant Dwayne Lewis. He died in 06 in Baghdad, Iraq. He was a guy that I spent a lot of time with, lifting weights and just having conversations with and whatnot. And so him and I grew pretty close. And then also, more recently, I had a brother of mine, Brian Moffett, who recently passed away. But yeah, so that's kind of what kept you motivated while you're walking.
So about, say, 4.5, 5 months ago, Matt said, hey, we got this ruck march coming up. You think you want to do it? And at that point in time, I was probably 20 pounds heavier than I am now. And I said, I've never done a marathon before. When I was in the military, I think the most I ever did was a 17-mile ruck march. And that's when I was in, top of the line shape. So when I was deployed to Afghanistan, I had a staff sergeant passed away. He was killed in action, stepped on an IED. And then 2 years ago, my best friend I grew up with in Keene, he passed away. He didn't die in combat. He passed away for medical reasons, but he was in the military. So that, those two people, that was my main motivation for doing this event.
I served from 99 to 2003. It's roughly 4.5 years. Spent the first 2 years with the 173rd Airborne. I spent my last 2 years with the 10th Mountain Division. My inspiration wasn't just for guys I knew that didn't come back, but also for everybody. 9/11 on, before 9/11, all that. I had a couple guys stationed with in Italy. Sergeant Tran, Staff Sergeant McMillan. You think about those guys. Not even just those guys, but the guys that were walking next to you that day. Failure wasn't an option. So you just push through it.
I think the most humbling thing in the whole event was when you cross the finish line, there's a gold star parent there, somebody that's lost a son or daughter, giving us our medals, and we got official Boston Marathon medals because it's a sanctioned event. I had a tear in my eye when I crossed the line. It was pretty humbling. And eventually, this thing kind of inspired me to someday, I would love to try to put on an event like this up here to benefit veterans locally in New Hampshire. I think that's a long-term goal. My wheels are always turning, thinking about how can we help vets in our own community, so.